What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode whatever, reunion part 1. Okay, girl, I swear to God, if it's 4 parts reunion, I'm gonna be so mad, and y'all gonna tell by the time part 3 get here, I'm gonna be drained from it. I'm gonna be so drained from it. Plus, I'm a little bit in my feelings that BMF didn't come on tonight. Then y'all do know that Power come back on. Bitch, Power come back on the 21st. I said it's a lot that's coming back. But anyway, let's just get up into this, okay? So, of course, they started off with everybody getting there, getting ready. Andy visited each person's room. And it was so crazy to me that he actually visited Candiace's room because if y'all don't know, it's been a lot of back and forth. At least Candiace been expressing herself. From what I've seen, I haven't actually sat there and read up on it, but she's been expressing some of the stuff that she felt is not right. Okay, which is her right. All right, but we'll get into it later if they bring it up on the show. But the girls get there. They get on the set. Mia was the first one on there. Of course, she had to throw little shots, but she probably was being truthful about the fact that, listen, I learned from the hard way that, listen, most of the time we was filming, these girls was always late, okay? At one point I had to go ahead and bring my computer and stuff with me so I can go ahead and get some work done, because that's how late they be. And listen, time is money, money is time, okay? I gotta work smart, okay? I said, all right, Mia, I give you that, because listen, one thing that I can't stand is a late bitch too, all right? So, then everybody else, Ashley showed up next, and Andy was like, you look like a little Barbie. And she said, oh, I mean, that's what Michael calls me, Darby Barbie. Mia was like this. I said, all right. So we starting already. We starting already and we didn't even start yet, okay? Did all the other ladies, they started coming up there, Robin, Karen, Gizelle. Listen, for the most part, and especially for some of the people that usually dress like crap, people look decent. I ain't gonna say they look good. Gizelle, I'm gonna let Gizelle go this time, okay? Baby, moving on. Candiace was the last person to get up there. So, of course, they go around. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got my album up. And, Michael called me Darby Barbie. All this stuff. Oh, that's so cute. Gizelle, did Grace drive you here? No, she didn't drive me here. But, she drove herself back. I said, okay, that's cute. So, we get into the whole thing. When it started about Gizelle and her fashions. Somebody with the Twitter name of, I think, Mom of the 80s or something like that was like, your fashions have improved a little bit throughout the season, which we have to give it to her just a little bit. Girl, just a little bit, because if it was horrid in the past couple of seasons, in the first 2 seasons, baby, it was trash, okay? That was for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And so they correct, but they was like, do you have a stylist? Gizelle said, yes, I have a stylist, the same stylist that I've been had. And we was all like, wait a minute, so you got a stylist that's doing all this stuff, and then they continually putting you up in this mess, and you continually saying yes to it? Interesting. I would never trust your judgment. Okay, and I can't sit here and say nothing. Listen, when I get up on this camera, okay, and I'm talking mess, most of the time I ain't dressed up like that, okay? Because listen, I'm just getting on the camera showing my top half, whatever. Like I said, my hair ain't really all the way done. But bitch, when I step out, I step out, okay? That's one thing you gonna get from me. All right, don't let the big bitch fool you, because listen, I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna look good, bitch, okay? But at the same time, I ain't gonna put out there that I got a stylist knowing that my style ain't on point. Giselle was like, I improved, I like what it's been, and they was like, girls, do you like her style or whatever? Candiace said, now let me just put this out here. I mean, some of the stuff that you wore, I wouldn't wear. I mean, it's cute, but it ain't. Giselle was like, listen, I can say the same thing about you. She was like, what you talking about? She was like, I mean, you wear some stuff that She was like, listen, let me just cut that off. I put some stuff on, and if I like it, I like it. That's what I want to put on. I said, I mean, I guess go ahead and roll with that, boo-boo. That's what you got to go through, okay? If you like it, you like it. It is what it is, okay? We're not finna make no big thing about this. Moving on from that, we acknowledge Candiace, having her album out and getting a mention from Miss Anita Baker. That was cool. That was nice. And then we get into the package of Mia, okay? The newbie on set, It was a lot of us talking under the breaths, okay? When they was talking about lying, oh my goodness. When they said that Gizelle has a stylist, Wendy under her breath said, oh my God, how dreadful. Before they got into the actual question with Mia, it was like, we did have somebody that wanted to come, a superstar that's a big fan of the show. And unfortunately, we thought she was going to be able to make it, but she's not going to be able to make it. So we left the video for you guys. And then we played the video. It was a video from Nikki. Oh my God, you guys, I'm such a big fan and I wish I was going to be able to make it, but unfortunately I can't. So I catch y'all next time. I was like, oh, okay, cute. I was distracted because, let me just tell y'all this. Nikki is cute as fuck with her natural state. Like, most of the time, I wish that, she stayed without all the makeup. She cute with the makeup on, but I just love some of these artists with their natural state because their natural state just be fresh-faced and it just make them look like 10 years younger than what they are, right? But in this video, I said, what is this pixelated shit, Nikki? Who filmed this and did this to you? You deserve better than that, okay? It looked like she was on an Obama phone that had Telly Riley's internet connection. Enjoyed the fuck out from 1995. I couldn't make out who she was. If I did understand the voice, I was like, who is this Instagram person? That's Nikki, okay? I hear the voice. I heard the purr at the end, so that was cute, though. I said, why y'all people do that to her like that? But, okay, anyway, moving on from that, she still looked pretty pixelated and everything. Moving on, we get into Mia and her working in the gentleman's club or whatever. They was like, so Mia, you getting paid to just have conversations or whatever. How is this happening? What club was it that you was working at? And then here come Candiace, the steak and lobster. I said, Candiace, shut up. We're not talking about you yet, okay? Just let me... We're going to get to your issues. Let her talk. Because it was like... was your first impressions of her? Candiace said she liked her. She said, I thought she was a great person. At first, I really thought she was cool, you know what I'm saying? I really liked her at first, and shit changed, and then they asked Gizelle. Gizelle said, I thought she was a good person too, but, she somehow, Candiace was like, but she lied. She lied about a lot of stuff, okay? They was like, what she lied about, girl? What she lied about? She lied about this, her clit, her this, her that. And I was a little confused. I said, wait a minute, what? She said that she had her clit done, so what's the problem? It was it was the technical terms. Mia had to come through and be like, listen, I talked to my doctor and basically what he said was y'all need to grow up because everything that was done down there was basically the same thing, okay? All of that in that area, it was a lot that was done down there, so leave it alone. Meanwhile, we trying to figure out, so did you have the clitoplasty or did you have the rejuvenation? She said, bitch, we put it all together. That's what we had, okay? I said, all right. And then Ashley was like, well, wait a minute. Didn't you have a C-section just like I did with all three of your kids? She was like, yeah. And so when she dropped that bomb, I said, I don't remember if she said it throughout the season when it first came up. I said, well, why you need your... I was a little confused, okay? Because usually I can understand if the little puss or whatever and, all the surrounding walls and the floor and everything just wide and dropping and ain't holding right or whatever, because the body goes through a lot of stuff. And when the body goes through a lot of stuff when, you give birth and all that stuff. But, she was like, I just wanted to touch my stuff up. And Wendy said, your shit got beat up that bad from missionary? I'm laughing because I was thinking the same thing. They was trying to chime in and say, yeah, I mean, that's what I said, wait a minute. You straight girls be going through that? Y'all going through that? Okay, y'all favorite position be beating y'all shit up like that? Like y'all stuff be looking like chopped up liver? Are you serious that you got to go get that shit done? Like, listen, color me surprised because I am, okay? Because Mia is young, and I'm sitting here like, from one person did that to you? I don't want to assume nothing and insinuate anything, but if one person did that, maybe you had something that was going on all the way. I don't know. That ain't none of my business, so let me stop. Okay, so then they start getting into her business about being in the strip club or whatever, the gentleman's club. And then that's when Candiace was like, she worked that steak and lobster. I said, no, girl, be quiet. And so then they was like, it's called the men's club down in North Carolina. And she was like, gee, she never fell in love with him. It wasn't like love at first sight type of situation. He was the person that helped build the VIP area and all that stuff. So he was like an investor in the club, I would say. Okay. But what made her fall for him was the fact that she had a friend from Haiti, and they was going through what they was going through with the hurricanes and stuff. Cause y'all remember Haiti always getting hit with stuff. Okay. And he was helping her out or whatever. And she was like, oh my God, he has a kind heart. He just ain't coming up in here with no shoes on or whatever. He just being nice and he just doing all this stuff, and I love him for that. I said, what? All right, Mia, we gonna let that go. So Mia said, basically, we know how Gordon is. He'll just take his shoes off. Gordon a little crazy, okay? He'll take his shoes off, go put it to the shoe shine people, and then be walking around. I said, shoe shine? We still got those? That's so... All right. She was like, yeah, up in the club, we had shoe shining, we had tanning beds, we had spas, we had all of that, makeup artists, hairdressers, and all that. I said, because the girls got to look good, okay? Because that's what some of the strippers do in the bag. I be looking at some stuff with some strip stuff. We saw P-Valley or whatever. Let me just put this out here. I don't have a problem with the fact that Mia is a stripper. Listen, I don't hate on people's professions and what they had to do to get to where they at, okay? If you still here and you made it good, that's fine. But don't just make yourself seem like you better than every goddamn body. Now, if Mia doing that, but moving on from that, they said, she was out here. They was asking, did they have a champagne room? No sex in the champagne room. Y'all remember that Chris Rock and Eddie Gerald Levert song? Girl, that was my shit. Okay, but the young ones, if y'all need to YouTube it, it's called No Sex in the Champagne Room. Okay, Chris Rock, Gerald Levert. May he rest in peace. She was like, no, we had champagne areas, but not a particular room. She said when they got dressed or whatever, because Andy said, did she ever take the clothes off? And she was like, I mean, I come out there and I have a gown on or whatever, then I come off and take the top off or whatever, probably had a little boy shorts on, and tatas was free. I said, okay, that's fine. Of course, Candiace was like, wait a minute, but you said that you had gown on. She was like, yeah, I said that, and also, I end up taking it off and all this stuff. Also, you said part of the story, yeah, because y'all never let me get a chance to finish, okay, in this group. I said, all right, Mia, calm me down a little bit. They asked about her mama. People was liking the story about her mama, feeling for her about the mama. And she was like, my mama doing real good. She with the kids or whatever. We're continuing on this progressing journey of getting to know each other, getting back on track or whatever. And she said she's going to pray for Candiace. Candiace said, you can tell your mama I don't want that. That's not a prayer that I want. Okay. And as I said, let me stop. We'll get there, because I'm pretty sure a few of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, because I still stand firm. I don't see what the big uproar. Okay, we'll get there later. I'm not gonna bring that up. But moving on from that, they was talking about the text message. Mia and her businesses, because somebody said, you basically come on here acting like you're self-made, but you really aren't, because Gordon is the one that gave you stuff. And she was like, no, he is on a couple of the she has a franchise, okay, the chiropractic franchise. That's what they have. He's only on a couple of the buildings or the locations. She's on like 8 of them or whatever. But before that, he has some McDonald's stuff, buildings, locations that he sold out of, and then she has some massage envy. I said, rush hour. All right, let me stop. Girl, she said she had some massage envy parlors, all right? And, they was like, wait a minute, but he helped you get that. No. I mean, he helped a little bit, but I had to get it on my own, because I had to do all the stuff and put it in there. I said, okay, Mia, if that's what your man helped a little bit, okay? It helped that he was there, but you put forth the effort too. That's basically what you're trying to say, and a lot of the stuff is in your name as well. Okay, that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say to sum that up, okay? In summation. Meanwhile, we get to, what else we talk about with her? We get to, if I missed something, put it down in the comments. We get to Gizelle, baby, and they talking about her love life. And they was like, so listen, because the last thing that we heard was that she was dating somebody, but then, she ain't dating him no more, okay, because she want to have a little hot girl summer, okay. And so at this point, they was like, so who is this person that you was dating, Gizelle? Who is this person that you was dating? And then she was like, I mean, y'all don't know him. It's a commentator, and no, he's not still up in the picture like that. And then Wendy was like, I'm pretty sure that I know who it is, okay, because I know a commentator that said they know her. And it was like, Gizelle said, no, you don't know her, or he don't know you. And then Andy said, Van. And she was like, Jones. Yes. I said, Van Jones. And then Wendy said, no, it wouldn't be him because, you're not his type. He like women of integrity. And I said, I ain't trying to throw no shade at Kim Kardashian, but when Kim Kardashian and Jim Jones, Van Jones linked up together at 1.2, I said, I mean, you just can't tell, Wendy. You just said that because you don't like the bitch. I understand it, but you don't know what these men's like, okay? You don't know what these men's like, but I just like, oh, wow, Wendy, shut up right now, okay? I know you pissed. Wait till they get to you, okay? But it was cute, but wait till you get to you. And one more thing with Mia, she did say when she sent that message to Robert and Gizelle, the way that she did at the beginning, talking about, talk to my people and all that stuff, whatever. She said Karen wasn't there in her ear, whatever, because Gizelle felt like, Karen was probably coaching her. And Karen said, let me be clear. Mia is going to be Mia. Karen is gonna be Karen, and Mia ain't codependent on me, okay? We ain't codependent on each other. And that was a little jab, or a little bomb put out there, because we see the relationship between Gizelle and Robin. They damn near codependent on each other. At least Robin codependent on Gizelle. So yeah, that was that. I was like, well, okay. Baby, they asked about Gizelle and her subdivision house, okay, that ranch home. They was just asking, is it finished? Do it look better? Like, what's going on? Of course, everybody has some facial expressions to say, like, stuff just don't look right. They facial expressions said all what they felt. Robin was trying to make excuse or whatever, make a good homegirl, as she should, feel good about herself since everybody else was going to be talking bass, all right? But no, okay, no, okay, no matter how you try to slice it, that thing that was getting built when they had that little shady and reasonable little situation outside, I didn't get it. I mean, I'm glad the lady got Gizelle got a home or whatever, because and can afford to do all that stuff, because at this point I can't afford to do that. So it is what it is, but just make it look nice. She said she took the purple walls out, because they didn't go with the decor or the floor that she was putting up in there. Andy said it didn't go with nothing, to be quite honest. It did not go with anything, okay? Nothing, all right? Karen, what you feel about it? How you feel? Listen, I have not been there since the drive-by. The drive-by? I mean, the drive-in. The drive-in, okay? That's just what it is, all right? They started talking about Grace and her driving, and Karen asked, was she a little bit embarrassed or whatever, have an issue with you putting all that out there? She was like, no, she cool with it, okay? Like, she thought it was fun, lighthearted, and it was. It could have been a little bit embarrassing because she's a kid, and one of the teenagers' main thing to do was they want to get their driver's license, and then to find out that you didn't fail multiple times. Karen said she been through the same thing. She had to go through multiple tests as well. We found out that Jamal is the worst driver, and that's where that came from. In that situation. And then speaking of Jamal, we get onto Jamal, okay? We get onto Jamal in this relationship that she has, that was like, first of all, you don't open up about your relationship to anybody. Everybody is always putting their business out there. You're always up in everybody else's relationship, because this was one of the questions, but yet you never want to talk about your relationship to the extent that you be all up in everybody else's stuff in the way that everybody else offered their answer the questions when asked, okay, and put their business out there. She was like, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And Candiace had to call her on it. No, you don't. No, you really don't. Okay. Wendy went into psychology mode, okay, and she was like, no, I feel as though if she Gizelle opens up and she put out there, she'll break down or some shit like that. I said, okay, Wendy, but At this point, I just wanted to get to the Wendy and Gizelle situation. I'm halfway through with the reunion because Wendy is itching to go off on this girl, all right? Because she is psychoanalyzing this girl. She is talking up for her. She was like, oh, so you don't know my relationship. She was like, you don't know me. You don't know, and you don't know me. I said, this is what y'all going to be doing the whole reunion. I said, man, I don't know if I could take this. I don't know if I could take this. Like, I prepared myself for it, but now it's here. I'm just like, baby girls, y'all gonna have to calm this down, okay? Get it all out at once. Get it all out at once. It's like, no matter what Gizelle did, it's almost like what Karen was doing to Gizelle last season, okay? Karen was doing the same thing. I have to think about it, yeah. So then they started talking about her relationship with Jamal, and that's what all that came from, and the reason why she won't open up and all this stuff, she said basically the breakup happened like in January, February, after the holidays. Wendy had to interject and said, but no, that timeline don't make sense because, he put a video out in December basically saying that he was single. And that video was when Bindergate came out, okay? And he got on internet and he put out the video with somebody else addressing, his church and all this stuff. And he basically said technically he's single because he wasn't married. And even if you're not married, you're still talking to somebody, you're still dating somebody. So I wouldn't, and it's your ex-wife, it's somebody that you know, and you've already put it out there that y'all have some type of relationship, some type of intimate relationship. And intimate does not mean sexual. Intimate relationship, romantic relationship. But check, you use the words as single just because you're not married. And that's why everybody was like, okay, so he basically said he ain't with nobody. And that's probably where Wendy was coming from, because that's how we took it. At least that's how I took it too, And so that's what she had to explain. What I just said, that's what she had to explain. Andy brings up the whole thing about the binder, and that's how people looking at it, and that's how people may feel some things about it. She was like, listen, the stuff that came out in the binder, it wasn't nothing new. Me and Jamal had already spoken about it. And basically, am I getting this right? Was she basically saying that they were just dating and they were actually dating other people as well? But then when Andy ended the question, before it went on commercial break, it was talking as if, I don't know if he said if y'all got back together and he started cheating on you, and then Wendy was like multiple times, and Gizelle was like, you take pleasure in that. No, I don't. It's quite sad actually, but multiple times he cheated on you. And then Andy repeated it. So is he saying like in this last relationship or this last go round when they got back together, he was cheating on her multiple times, and she kind of confirmed it? Girl, let me finish watching this. I was just like, Gizelle, you let that man do that to you again? Why? Girl, this why I don't like giving second chances sometimes, because motherfuckers just to play you and make you look stupid as hell, just like Jamal made her look stupid as hell in the public. Girl, I wouldn't. So to answer my own question, basically, yes, Gizelle got back with that man, and that man really did cheat on her, because she tried to frame it as if, oh, we weren't monogamous, because that's what Andy said, so y'all wasn't monogamous or whatever. No, because then when he asked that question, it was like, he how did you feel when you gave him a chance again and he did it again? And he was like, did you cry? She was like, no, I didn't cry. It was almost like, I've been there, done that, so why would I cry over it? I cried the first time, like when we got divorced. I'm just not a crier, so it is what it is. Then Karen tried to interject and give her opinion about it. The reason why because they feel as though she acts as if it doesn't bother her. And then, Robin is trying to talk, and then here comes Wendy. I said, Wendy, girl. Wendy said, bitch, I'm gonna put my foot on everybody, or I'm gonna put my foot on her neck all goddamn night, okay? Anytime we talking about Gizelle, I'm gonna make sure to get a goddamn quote in or nothing, all right? Because what y'all not gonna do is y'all not gonna shut me up. I was like, Wendy, shut the hell up, okay? Now, girl, I'm waiting for you when it comes for, y'all two to go back and forth. That's fine. But when we asking questions, and I get it, because Gizelle used to do that with everybody else. Karen used to do that with everybody else, okay? Now it's your turn, and I was annoyed when everybody interjects when anybody else is talking, okay? When we're talking to one person and then another person that is not involved want to start saying something, okay? Robin had to call her out. Like, girl, shut up, okay? I am trying to talk, okay? And you up here just want to say something. I said, all right. And then I looked at Robin's makeup and I said, oh my goodness, who did her shit? We're talking about Gizelle and her goddamn fashion, which is a step up from what she's usually had on. And the face was good. Gizelle makeup was good. And then I looked at Robin. I said, who did her makeup? Because that shit made her look old as shit. Okay? And Robin don't look old like that. I said, why did you let that happen? Was it a rush job or whatever? But anyway, Robin was basically like, people need to understand that people, handle things differently. Let her grieve the way that she want to grieve, or, act the way that she want to act in this situation. And that's perfectly fine. Okay, whatever. You're right, Robin. Okay, everybody is not so emotional, because I'm not an emotional person like that either. I mean, I have my moments, but in public, I'm not gonna break down. You're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see me doing all that stuff behind closed door. I might be doing some stuff, but other than that, you just don't know. Okay, so don't assume. Moving on from that. They called out in Wendy and Karen about always coming at Gizelle when they going back and forth, basically using the same thing that a lot of people, and a lot of us, myself included, has said time in the past or whatever, about the fact that, you talk coming for these women, but yeah, you can't keep a man yourself. And we heard a lot of that this season, okay? It was very prevalent. And I will say this, it's not necessarily trying to put it out there. Well, for some of us, it's not trying to say that, Gizelle needs a man to define her. It's just that Gizelle has done so much stuff and said so much crap to people. And so it's an easy read. It's an easy read. And that's why we put it out there. Not saying that, she need a man to define her. No, nobody needs a man or a woman to define them. But since you always talking on other people's relationships and talking about this and talking about that, let's talk about yours, since you can't keep one. Okay, we ain't say it defines you. We just saying that you just can't keep a man. Okay, that's basically what it is. Karen, though, let me just tell you this. Karen, you could have said what I just said, okay? That summed it up perfectly. That summed it up nicely, okay? Because at one point or another, a lot of us are guilty of saying that. We have to say that, okay? But at the end of the day, Karen was about to get her ass up there and lie, okay? And she got caught up in that lie because she couldn't get it all the way out, because Andy had to say, but no, you did say that. She was like, okay, yeah, I said it because I own it. It was like therapy to me. I said, Karen, shut your mouth. Karen, shut your mouth, okay? Therapeutic to come at her like, but hey, it is what it is, okay? They didn't even let Wendy answer the question, but, unless they edited it out, we didn't see it. Moving on from that, they started talking about the tax issues because one of the issues that they brought up with Gizelle was like, listen, you talked about Karen and Ray taxes, or Ray owing taxes and all this stuff. And then speaking of taxes, Jamal, it's reported that he owed like $800,000 in taxes, okay, back taxes. And it was like, okay, what they got to do with me? What they got to do with me? My name ain't on none of that stuff, because Karen was like, if I was you, I would make sure all my stuff is in order, get you a lawyer. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not going to affect me in any way. Thank you for whatever you was about to say, but it's not going to affect me. But then Andy said it is affecting you because of the fact that it's going to affect your daughters. She said my daughters are good, okay? And in that sense, if the taxes occurred during the relationship, meaning the marriage that they had, I don't think it should be affecting them if they're no longer together, because it's not her stuff, it's his stuff. And even if it happened after, when they were dating, so how was that affecting her? So I kind of agree with Gizelle. It's not affecting her. That ain't got shit to do with her. That's probably why she broke up with the motherfucker too. Okay, and Gizelle got money to take care of her kids. Her kids okay. So I don't. All right. Cameron did say, I feel like the reason why she went back to Gizelle was just Jamal, was because it was easier to be with somebody familiar, and because she was lonely. And I feel like that was what it is too, because you're upper in age, you're older, and you've been through so many other relationships after Jamal that has not come to fruition. And so at one point you're just like, F it, let me just go back to that old thing. And a lot of us are, guilty of that. Some of us are guilty of that. Okay, I'm not, but I've seen it. I know people that done it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But yeah, it was just a lot that was going on. I said, oh, all right, cool. So now we get into Candiace and the situation going on. Okay, we found out, we already know, they congratulate her being signed to the record label. E1 has turned into Monarch Records now. They asked people did they listen to the whole album. The majority of them have. Ashley said she'll get to it. I said, girl, don't sit there and lie. You're not. Um, Andy Shady ass said, is it any better than do you think it's better than Coffee and Love? And then I said Coffee and Love. She was like, no, we put my foot up in that. That's what I did. I put my foot up in that. I said, what the hell is Coffee and Love? Girl, they played the video and I said, bitch, I forgot Ashley thought that she was a singer at one point. I said, no, Candy shit is way better than that. Okay, no shade. No shade. All right. It's at least Candiace can hum, okay? Candiace can hum. I don't know what that was that Ashley was doing. But moving on from that. So they get into, how is Chris, being a manager to you with music when he's more fitted in the kitchen. And she was like, he's not necessarily managing my music career. It's more so managing me. And then, of course, they asked, Andy went on ahead and asked the question that everybody's been asking, do he get paid? And she said, I pay him in love. Here go Mia. Getting paid for sex makes you a prostitute. And she was like, it takes one to know one. She was like, exactly. I don't speak on anything that I don't know. I said, wait a minute, Mia, now, huh? That's why your clip was fucked up. Let me stop. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Strike that from the record. But then again, y'all already heard it. Let's proceed. Okay? And so, they get onto this whole thing about, do you feel like Chris is riding your coattails? And we was like, Gizelle, we already know that you do. Some of the other ladies, do y'all feel that way? I don't necessarily feel like everybody said anything. But Ashley did say, with the fact that he did have a restaurant and his restaurant was affected by the pandemic. So it didn't necessarily just have to close because of, other situations, but a lot of businesses closed because of the pandemic, so he was affected by that. Here go Ashley. Ashley said, he's just not the same anymore. He look like he's drinking a lot more. No, he's always been drinking like that. Okay, well, he's gained weight. He doesn't appear to be the same attitude, the same Chris that we saw when we first saw him. Well, anybody's who's going to say the same during the pandemic? I said that's true. That's true, because that's the same goddamn. Okay, moving on. That's the same thing I felt about Wendy and all that stuff. Like, we supposed to evolve. Okay, so hey, it is what it is. But I'm surprised and I'm glad that Candiace didn't pop off on Ashley for giving her opinion right then and there. I said that took some restraint. I give you that. Because Candiace can just go there. But they get into, is Chris' name on the deed, is Dottie's name on the deed. Chris' name is on the deed of the house. Dottie's name is not, but she always act like, because they did say she kind of implied that she was putting some money in or whatever at the video shoot. They kind of implied that, and she said she likes to think that she is involved, but she's not. Okay. She's one of those overbearing mothers, all right, and we heard that when they was like, we're about to bring Dottie out, Candiace like, bitch, I would leave, okay, like, it's just not a good spot right about now with Chris and Candiace and her mother, okay, and they get into this whole situation about the fact that Dottie was out there talking to everybody about the whole Chris situation and asking all these questions and spreading the business around, and so at this point, people feel as though, because Mia kept on interjecting like, you should have just got mad at your mama instead of just getting, if a real friend would have told you that it was her mama that was saying stuff instead of just saying other people. And at that point, Wendy was like, who? Okay. But in this instance, Mia, you are not out of the clear. All right. Because as I will say again, you as a new person, why are you, and you're trying to get to know her, why are you asking all these personal questions to her mother? And I'm pretty sure you saw the show, and I'm pretty sure you know of the relationship between her and her mother, okay? Because some of your answers are some of the answers and stuff that I done seen on Twitter, the jabs and stuff, so you've seen the show, you know her relationship with her mother, so you know that was a soft spot. And then you up here talking about something is low budget and all this stuff, and you was asking questions about something that you didn't need to ask questions. You could have did like Karen, you could have did like, anybody else who Dottie came up to trying to spread some stuff to and try to shut that stuff down. But no, you play into it on purpose. All right. And to be quite honest, Candiace, you should be pissed off with Gizelle too. And you should be pissed off with Robin as well. Okay. Because they also was playing into it. So that's how that feel. I feel on that. Okay, Mia, you're not exempt. Yeah, she pissed off at her mama, of course. um but she said, they was like, how does Chris feel about it after seeing that? After seeing that, give me some tissue. I said, damn, Candiace, first hour, huh? We already in tears. She was like, girl, yeah, because after seeing that, me and my family would never be the same again. I said, Candiace, okay. Somebody said from that. Woo, that was funny to me. So, Candiace was talking about her mom and that situation. Her husband was hurt. She crying because she don't want her husband to be hurting. And then, you gotta see his in-laws and, what they might be thinking because they watch and all that stuff. So that's understandable. I get those emotions, all right? But moving on from that, this whole thing with Mia and the low budget comment, Mia, just admit that you was being nasty, okay? You was trying to throw a shot, and that's all that it is. Quit trying to back it up and say, well, it was $10,000. It is low budget. It's not an insult, but you was using it as an insult, and therefore that is what popped off, and that's what put your mama in the aim of fire. Okay, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I will stand firm in what I believe. Baby, I was not mad at Candiace for saying yo mama. Okay, like she said, we do that Jones and shit up in the thing. But bitch, let me tell you something, Candiace, this is where you got me messed up at. All right, when you said she should have been grateful. Okay, no, she was ungrateful. I said, what? Excuse me, ma'am, ungrateful because you called her mama. You said yo mama. I said, what? Now, ma'am, what the hell was you talking about? Okay, because I didn't understand it. Me and the other lady was like, what? She was ungrateful. Because you were ungrateful. I said, ungrateful for what, Candiace? Now, you just throwing stupid shit out there at this point. All right, but let's get back to a scholar, okay? Because they did make a comparison. And I think we all, because when a scholar first came on the show, a lot of us really weren't feeling her at first, and my reason why I wasn't feeling her was because she did some of the shit that what that girl Nyla from Married to Medicine did. You know what I'm saying? Interjecting into issues that was already going on, and trying to put her two thoughts up in there. And I ain't sit your ass down and you just talk, okay, or you just listen. That whole situation when she called Karen out about being an alcoholic, I wasn't here for that, and I'm pretty sure I called her out on that. And they was like, what's the difference between her doing that and Mia up there talking to Dottie about stuff or whatever? She was like, I'm just in the direct person. That's fine. That's still no reason for you to do what you did. But she said maybe I should have did it outside of the ladies. You 100% correct. Okay, you want to have that face to face. You pull Karen to the side. You don't do that shit in front of the whole group. I wasn't here for it. But then we get onto this whole situation about Candiace and her mouth and the yo mama stuff and her actions. And listen, to Candiace's defense with the yo mama situation, with Andy trying to come at her about, oh, the way that you do this and your mouth is, how is that working for you or whatever, why would you say your mom and all this stuff, blah blah blah. It is a little contradictory and a little hypocritical because and I seen the clip, and I've watched every Married to Medicine reunion, and we know it has never really been this much. Like, people have said something about Dr. Heavenly saying yo mama this and yo mama that or whatever, and she older than goddamn Candiace, okay? But yeah, when we get on the reunion and the clip that they showed that's been going around, Andy was kicking with it. He wasn't mad at it and coming at Dr. Heavenly about her always saying yo mama and all this stuff or whatever. No, but then we get on here and it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal that Candiace said your mama is this. And then for Gizelle to be like, if she would have popped your ass, I mean, it is what it is because of your actions and the severity of what was said. What you said back didn't match what she said. She said your budget, your video was low budget. That's something personal to her. Okay. So Candiace attacked something personal to her mama. She said, oh, your mama joke. I don't understand why people trying to all of a sudden make it a big deal that we say yo mama or whatever. Like, we've been saying that shit in the hood all the time. Like Candiace said, I will agree with her with that. But that shit don't hurt like that. Somebody say yo mama this, yo mama that. That shit ain't finna make me crumble. I don't give a fuck if my mama got some issues going on. That shit ain't finna make me crumble. Because I know my mama strong as shit. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I know I'm strong as hell. I'm just gonna come back harder. That's what we do. Like I'm confused. I'm confused. But then at the same time, it's like people flip flopping. They had called me a flip flopper too. You know, at one point, you know, she said I may feel one way, then I feel another way. That's fine. But at the same time, it's like y'all okay. Because I agree with some of the stuff that Candiace said, and I also agree with some of the stuff that Andy and the ladies were saying. Like, we've all come to the conclusion, like, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with her saying the yo mama stuff, okay? We've established that, all right? But we also have to admit that Candiace does her mouth provoke things, okay? I've always said, and throughout this whole review, this whole season, I said her mouth can be very vile, okay? The things that come out of her mouth can be very vile or whatever. And she's just like, you know, people just mad because they can't out talk me or whatever. They can't just come back with something better or whatever. And, you know, we're so about use your words. If you're going to fight with words, don't fight with hands and all that stuff. That's all that was being said last season. That's what was being said last season, right? But at the same time, we have to understand that Candiace's mouth can cause somebody to want to knock her ass out. We have to admit that. Words can cause you to want to knock your ass out, okay? Does that mean that we should? No. We should be able to restrain ourselves and keep our hands to ourselves. And that's guess what the point was for last season. Yes, you can provoke and for broke, but you're going to come across that one person that's just going to pop your ass and it's going to be like, bitch, I was tired of you talking, and then it's going to happen. The same thing that happened with Kenya and Portia. But see, Kenya put something up in Portia's face, so that's what happened. So I'm going to strike that from the record. But at the same time, you know, Candiace, you know, you do have a history of doing a lot of stuff that cause people to go like, girl, you doing too much, okay? And then you calling Ashley big face or whatever, like, girl, we can stop with that. But at the same time, you know, I even used that excuse with, like, you know, she used the butter knife and all that stuff. She did. You did wield the butter knife at that girl. You kind of threw it too. At the end, they pulled you out, but Ashley did come back up into her house. We gotta admit that Ashley came back up into her house, but you did need to throw that butter knife at her. You didn't need to use the butter knife. You didn't need to pick up a weapon or whatever. I ain't gonna call it a weapon, instrument. But at the end of the day, I get where she's coming from, and I get where Andy's coming from. Like, or I get where the ladies come. But then for Gizelle to say that if she was to pop you because you threw the letters, what's the difference from the shit that happened last year? I see, that's what the contradiction. Oh, I'm finna get up off of here. Okay, y'all gonna argue in the comments. All right, this is just my thoughts. I'm trying to figure it out because I'm feeling a lot of hypocrisy that's happening from last year to this year, and it's making me feel away because I get where Candiace coming from, and I get where a few of the other ladies coming from that's not really here for that. And then I'm so glad that they called her ass out about saying the whole thing about her mama going to relapse if her mama relapse. Like, that's not fair. That's not right. Your mama's stronger than that. Like, you making your mama seem weak. And Candiace, bitch, you must have been on my Twitter or on my videos because, bitch, you verbatimly said what the hell I said. You brought your mama on here for a fucking storyline. That's what it was. And so you put her in the public and then trying to make it seem like, she wanted to be on there. Like Candiace said, she seemed mighty uncomfortable. Okay, so hey, it is what it is. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I did not know that this was gonna be as long as it is, but y'all tell me how y'all felt about this reunion part 1. Hopefully the next 3 parts, if it's what it is, won't be this long, the review. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll see y'all later. Peace.